Good. You're here.
The bearer of the mind could put Lyra in even greater danger.
His dark materials.
I still haven't gotten over it. I know we say this like pretty much every episode, like this is the best one yet, this is the best one yet, but I actually think this has been the best episode of both seasons. As always, my review will be structured by my tweets from my live reaction, and I will leave the link down below in the description if you want to go and check out my tweet thread thing, if you want to follow me on Twitter and all that stuff. But what I want to say about this episode, this was such a fast-paced episode, and we got to the bath scene and I was like, are they gonna go to Boyle's house? And I checked the time and realized there was only like 8 minutes left of the episode, and I was like, actually probably they're not gonna do that. But that's how quick it felt. Like it felt like a very, very good episode. I have a few questions. If you want to answer them for me, that would be very nice and very helpful. A few questions and confusing little things that to me don't translate exactly what I thought the books were doing in these things, so I'll get to that. But yeah, I really like this episode. Don't watch my video if you haven't read all of the books, because I will probably spoil the whole book series, because I am a book reader fan. Like that's how I read the books before I watched the show. So yeah, if you haven't read the books, you better skedaddle, otherwise I will probably spoil things for you. But today was very good, and I can't wait to share with you my thoughts on the episode. I really enjoyed the introduction about the knife and all of those shots, and it just tells you a little bit more the impact of what Azrael actually did, because up until now we haven't really been told about the negative impacts of what Azrael did. We don't really know what the spectres are yet, or where they came from, or anything like that. So that was a really nice introduction, and that voice was actually an angel, if anyone was wondering, called Sarfanium. Yeah, so yeah, just watch out for her. She also made an appearance later on in the episode too. Just, you know, keep it in your mind. I thought the introduction was very well done. And I wrote, is this an angel? Question mark, dot, 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 dot. And it was rather atmospheric. That's what I wrote. That was rather atmospheric. I think they did a very good job this episode to set the tone of what was going on as well. Not just have the right plot points, but the tone was spot on. It was just a little thing, but there was a pan transformation. I think he like jumped off and became a bird. I can't quite remember, because after that like Lee came on the screen, so like my mind got taken away, and I was also writing the tweet. But they have done some really great pan transformations, like, you know, from one animal to another thing, and that was just spot on. I tweeted at Lorne Balfe to say how much I love the Lee's theme. The Lee's theme is one of my favourite tracks on the Score album. If you can listen to it on Spotify, it's one of my favourite tracks, and I think it encapsulates Lee so well. It has that like western twang. It's just so good. And Lorne replied and said, it makes my job easy when you have Lin-Manuel as your inspiration. And I said, no, I agree with that face, because that was some good shit. That was some good shit. I thought Phoebe Waller-Bridge as Cyan Kotor, see, when I read the books, and I've read them a few times this year, hashtag lockdown, but I had never really thought about John's demon, because I just don't feel like in the books she talks that much. She's just there a lot of the time. There's like that scene where she's talking about how he was shocked to find out that he had a demon and that it was female, but like she doesn't really talk that much from my recollection. So to see her making those snide jokes was just so great. Like that line, I think it was, "We thought you more of a hare than a tortoise." It's like such a burn, and Hester's like, rude. Yeah, I think that like Lee and John's meeting was so good. And I want to ask a question, because I don't know whether a non-book reader would have been able to put together that Will's father and Stanislav Groomman are the same person. Because to me it's pretty obvious, because first of all I read the books, but it's very clear from what Boreal was doing with, I think his name was Thomas, in our world, that Stanislav Groomman is John Parry. But nobody, like, I've been talking to a few people, fans of the show, who haven't read the books, and they seem to not know that Lee and Will are both like looking for the same person. So my question to you is it like, is that a thing because I know the book, or is that an actual thing? Like, have they not like put two and two together yet? But I mean, like, from Joe Parry to John Parry, I think like people should be a little bit quicker on the uptake. But I don't know, like, is that obvious or is it not obvious? That's my question. Oliver is just so awkward and I love it. Now, Oliver is a bit slow and isn't as good as some of the other characters, you know, Mary, Lyra. He's not as good of a person. He seems very desperate for the funding in places that Mary does not want to get funding from. Like, funding from the military means that what you do will be used as a weapon, and obviously Mary doesn't want that. So, especially given what Lyra has done with it and what she found out from that. So, but Oliver as a character is just so endearing because he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know like the danger that's going on. He's just like, I need funding for my project. And I guess that's not really a good thing about a grown-up, but he was just so like endearing in that scene with Boyle, where Boyle was clearly being a creepy ass motherfucker, but he was just there like, yes, we really need some help, and you said you would help us, will you help us please? Yeah, like, it's just funny to me. Mary is sticking to her guns. We stand a strong woman, which is true. This is just one of the most salty ass tweets I've ever tweeted. That the Spectre better stay away. He's not a man yet. Angry face, the one that's like blowing the steam out of its nose. That's how I felt this episode. He's not a man yet, so stay the fuck away, alright? We haven't got to that point yet. Why do I turn scouse when I make a rant? I don't know. Then I just gotta tweet Lee motherfucking Scoresby, and what can the girls say? Lee is my husband. They were climbing up the stairs in the tower, and I said, oh, those stairs, I could never. I have a fear of stairs. I have a fear of stairs because back in my childhood I fell down many a flight, and stairs are not my friend. Lee is hitting a nerve with many parents this season, talking about how much he loves Lyra and how he would do anything for her, and like these parents who've made mistakes, like Marissa, she's made a lot of mistakes, and John, you know, he took his work more important than his family, and then he got lost and now he can't get back. I just think Lee is hitting a nerve with all these parents. Like, he's not a parent himself, but he's going around acting like he is, and like acting like a better parent than anyone else there. And all these parents are like, oh fucking shit, he is speaking some sense and I'm a shit parent. Oh fucking god. I just think it's funny. I think like it's funny that he's unknowingly hitting all these nerves this season on parents. Tulio! That's what I just wrote. I wrote, oh no, so soon, I'm not ready for a fight. And whilst I was doing that, I was like, I had my phone in front of my face so I didn't see the fight. And I was expecting Will's fingers to be chopped off, but I was not ready for it. It was so dramatic, and I don't think like he even realised until like he finished the fight, he got the knife, and then he was like, fucking shit, my fingers are gone. My god, his fingers. And no, I just didn't like it. I said, I think that the casting for Will and Lyra has never been more evidently perfect. That Amir is just getting the essence of Will just so like spot on, like as like the closeness as the knife, like between two particles of the world. Like, It's just so good. And the connection and the chemistry that they have. And while we're talking about chemistry, the chemistry between Pan and Will, rather interesting, wouldn't you say? I'm really bad at winking, but you know what I mean, book reviewers out there. The bit where he could see the outline of the spectres. He's not ready. He's not a man yet. He's still a boy. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Thank you very much. Tulio looking for a building to get into and he can't get in and he's gonna get killed by the spectre. But I'm glad Lyra didn't watch that happen, because that's something that she holds heavily, that she keeps from Will for a while, and I just think it's really sad. The cinematic parallel between Roger coming in backwards into the bathroom and Lyra's bathing at Asriel's house, and Lyra coming in backwards while Will's in the bath. She learned that from Roger when Roger's dead. I don't like it. I swear, I don't like it. Please stop doing that. And then I just thought, I'm sure I won't get over this episode. Quite accurate. And then Lee's Wahoo. I tried to write Wahoo, but I don't really know how to spell Wahoo. But it was just so sweet. Like, he is ready to be back in his balloon. He is so ready. And my conclusion tweet was this: what an episode this is turning out to be. Mary talking to Dust, the fight for the knife, Leah and John meeting, Mrs. Coulter's outfit, and witches. We are being blessed. So I think, for me, one question I had that sort of been answered in a group chat that I'm in, but I never really put two and two together, that angels are dust and dust is angels, and the angels are made out of dust and angels can communicate through dust. That just, because in the books it's not an actual voice, it's just words. So don't know, that always, I don't know, that didn't feel, adaptation wise, that isn't what I thought the book was like. Not to say that it's bad or wrong or goes against law or anything, but it just didn't feel right to me. And I was very excited to see Mary communicate with the shadow particles, but not this whole angels revelation so soon. And in my head, Mary doesn't start her journey until the beginning of Amber Spyglass. She doesn't leave until the beginning of Amber Spyglass, or I could be wrong about that. But I don't know. And it just feels like Mary is going to leave very soon. And I've seen images of Mary talking to Angelica and Paola, which means that she's going to get to Cittàgazze this season. And I don't know how I feel about that. And I know it's probably a restructuring of the plot that makes sense logistically and chronologically for the TV show. But it still doesn't sit right with me, and probably it won't until we see like the final payoff for it. Just like with like Will's introduction, it didn't sit right with a lot of people until the final payoff. And I know some people still would have liked to see Will a little bit later than when he arrived. So I guess that's just personal opinion, but I am intrigued and apprehensive about how they're going to do that, but not disappointed per se. So yeah, this episode was good. It's very fast paced. There's a lot of emotion going on, a lot of brilliant acting. Yeah, that little ending with Mary and the shadow particles, which I should have loved so much, I didn't. And it's not because they got it wrong per se, but I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me that it's actual like speech and not just words. Because in the book, Mary had to like work at it to make it say words. So yeah, I don't know. don't know. Do let me know what you think. Follow me on Twitter. Also follow my fan account on Instagram if you're interested. Ashley has faith in Lee Scoresby. So yeah, that is everything that I have to say. I hope you enjoyed my review. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Let me know what you think. What did you like? What didn't you like? What was your favourite part? All that good stuff. And until next time, thanks for being a faithful. And thanks for watching. Mwah.